Right now, there is so much hype surrounding the new Meta Quest 3S, but this instead might actually be one of the best VR headsets of this year. And nobody is talking about it. The new Pico 4 Ultra can do things none of the Meta Quest headsets can do, including full body motion tracking and so much more. And in this video, I will show you 10 Pico 4 Ultra features that you need to know that will help you if you have already purchased one of these headsets or you intend to upgrade to the next generation of VR. So let's first talk about the Meta Quest 3S and what that headset actually is. Now, the biggest misconception that I'm seeing online in all of the comment section, everyone's saying, should I upgrade to the 3S? I've got a Meta Quest 3. The 3S is not a better headset than the Quest 3. It's actually a downgrade. It's essentially a Meta Quest 2 with improvements to the internal CPU and GPU, to the chip inside of it. Everything else about it is basically a Meta Quest 2. The biggest difference is the quality in the lenses. So both of these headsets, the Pico 4, Pico 4 Ultra, and the Quest 3, have got pancake style lenses, which give you much better image quality and clarity through those onto the display. Whereas the Quest 2 and Quest 3S have got Fresnel lenses, which is an old style of VR lens, which significantly reduces clarity, adds glare, distortion, etc. to the displays. In addition to this, the Quest 3S has the same resolution display as the Quest 2, so it's much lower than both of these headsets. Of course, the Pico 4 and Pico 4 Ultra beats the Meta Quest 3 as well, which obviously beats the 3S. Just lots of names going on here. First, let's talk about these trackers. And no, they are not Apple AirTags, even though they kind of look like it. These are the brand new Pico motion trackers, which you can use to unlock full body motion tracking, which is a first for VR headsets of this kind. A pair of these trackers costs £79, and you strap them to both of your ankles, which means it can track your feet within the game. That unlocks a whole new way of playing. Plus, in addition to this, you can also add one around your waist. Both the Pico 4 and the new Pico 4 Ultra are compatible with these motion trackers, and you can connect up to a total of 3 to your device. You can also attach these to auxiliary items, like rackets or handles or gun attachments, if you would prefer to do that instead of wrapping one around your waist, because to be honest, the two on your feet is absolutely sublime. Two games that really showcase the new motion trackers are All-in-One Sports VR and Tempo Club. And at the time of me making this video, both of these games currently had a competition in partnership with Intel and Pico, where players can win up to 1,000 euros, which is kind of cool. Tempo Club has this very cool mechanism that requires you to stomp on the ground, which triggers those foot trackers and demonstrates how this technology is operating. It's fast and responsive, and the game's actually quite a lot of fun. It's a hybrid between a Just Dance and also a Guitar Hero vibes. Then on the flip side, within All-in-One Sports VR, you can play anything from basketball to archery, volleyball, table tennis, soccer, boxing, tennis, badminton, the list goes on. And the assistance of those motion trackers helps these active games work so much better. I also tried these motion trackers out in a small hotel room to see how they would perform if you are restricted on space. And even with a very small play space, I could still experience this VR headset and enjoy the games. Registrations start on the 10th of October to the 16th of October to ensure you are valid to compete in this competition. And I think this is a pretty fun way to involve the community around the launch of this new VR headset. Now, this Intel and Pico VR Sports Challenge will be running from the 10th of October all the way up to the 3rd of November 2024, where players in each of the games will be able to compete for prizes up to 1,000 euros. I'll be taking part in this challenge over the next couple of weeks, and I'll leave all the info linked down below, along with links to all of the products mentioned in today's video. Setting up the motion trackers is straightforward and fast. You attach them to your ankles, and then you press and hold the power button to enable the pairing mode. They'll then go ahead and flash blue, and all you do is put the headset on and look down. You look down at your feet, and then it will detect them, and you're up and running. All the games will automatically detect the trackers and use them automatically. At launch, the Pico 4 Ultra has a total of 20 standalone titles that support this way of playing with the trackers. And of course, over time, this is bound to just increase and become more common and compatible across a huge range of different genres. Now, probably one of the most common mistakes people make when setting up their virtual reality headset is the IPD adjustment. This is the width of the lenses between your eyes to ensure that the screens are in focus for the most optimal viewing experience. Probably one of the coolest features with both the Pico 4 and Pico 4 Ultra are the motorized lens adjustment features. You don't even need to take the headset off. I can literally jump into my control center, go into IPD adjustment, and then here I can click up and down, and then the lenses inside the headset will go zzz, and they'll increase and decrease in width until I get it perfectly in focus, and I can look right there and go boom, That's perfect. Whereas with the Meta Quest 3, you basically have to use an app on your phone to like measure your face with AI to get the exact adjustment, and then you manually put it in with like a little scroll wheel on the exterior of the headset. So this means you constantly have to take the headset off to get it dialed in, or you just sort of guesstimate when you throw the headset on and hope for the best. This is super great because I don't need to download that additional app, and I can use this here as a nice little reference point to make sure there's no lens distortion occurring or doubling of the image. Whilst we're on the topic of customizing and tailoring your headset to suit you, something insanely cool are the AI-generated wallpapers for your virtual environment. As you can see right here, I'm currently in my virtual environment. If I press this button at the bottom right, this will take me out of immersive view into real life view, and you can see I've got my studio lights, I've got all my stuff here. If we are going to customize our virtual environment, there's a lot of stuff we can do here. So right now you can see that I'm inside of this desert. Now this is actually custom generated for my headset using AI. This is an AI generated environment based off of some prompts that I inputted into my Pico headset. So we can go into our settings and scroll over to virtual environment. Here you'll have your presets, which are just the standard stuff that everyone has when they purchase a headset. Boom, we're now in some caves. Boom, we're now near some beautiful lake. Boom, we're now in space or something. This is standard on any VR headset. Really, you can change your virtual environment. Down here, we've got AI generated. Now, this is the AI generated image that I created the other day, which is this cool desert, but you can create your own by literally jumping in here, and then you can choose all your different prompts. You know, what sort of theme you want it to be. I want it to be natural and real. We can go ahead and I want it to be maybe trees on this one, or maybe go for dawn, and then we'll click generate. It'll go ahead and it'll generate a new image. And there you go. In about a couple of seconds, maybe 30 seconds, we've now got 3 new environments that we can choose between. So I could go ahead and say, I like the look of this one. So we click generate environment. And you can now see we've got this brand new environment, which is absolutely insane. This is class. And we can go ahead and we can rotate it. So you can customize sort of where you're sitting on this thing here. So you can rotate it around if you want more of the lake view. Then you would click apply. And that is now my new background. Job done. AI generated. Got my 2 ones, got my old one there that I can switch back to, and I've got this one here, and if I want to, I can jump in and rotate it if I desire to customize it a little bit further. Now, probably one of the most impressive things is surrounding the performance of the Pico 4 Ultra. Even though the headset looks exactly the same as the Pico 4, inside there's been a lot of changes to the internal specifications. So it's now running the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 processor. This is the exact same processor as both the Quest 3 and Quest 3S. However, this has got 12 gigabytes of RAM compared to 8 gigabytes of RAM inside of the Meta Quest 3. So you got a little bit more processing power inside of this headset. The only thing the Quest does have over this is the higher refresh rate display, 90 Hertz display inside of here versus 120 Hertz available in the Quest 3. However, what you do get from these displays is a higher resolution and also a better rendering resolution for both of the eyes. So image fidelity is technically higher and better for a overall native experience. But with the 12 gigabytes of RAM, this means we can multitask. So we can have lots of different tiles open simultaneously, virtual desktop, plus maybe browsing something in the browser or the Explore. And we can work between everything, both either with the controllers or with the hand tracking that we'll talk about in just a moment. But first, let me show you some of the multitasking features that we have available to us. So we've just got the standard Explore tab available here. If I go down to the bottom, I can press the trigger in, and I can click and drag and move this around my environment to get it out the way, do whatever I want to do with that. I'm going to place it here. Then I can go ahead and maybe open up my internet browser. On my internet browser, again, I can place this wherever I like. I can take it over to the side. I've got this beautiful dual monitor display sort of going on here, which is insane. But let's just say I want to adjust some of the tiles. I can go down to the bottom corner of a tile and I can make it smaller. So I can go ahead and make this a little bit smaller, move it over, and there we go. So now I can sort of see that in my peripheral vision without having to do a full almost like 180 with me neck. Same as well, I can add another tile. I could open up my file manager if I wanted to maybe browse some videos, browse some pictures, and I can place this over here. I could place it up here. I could place it over to my left and do the same thing. I can also adjust the size of the tile. I can make it smaller, and I can also make it way bigger. Also, a new feature that's coming to the Pico 4 Ultra is the support for mouse and keyboard via Bluetooth natively on the headset. Of course, you could use a mouse and keyboard via your virtual desktop, the one plugged into your laptop or your gaming computer, for example, but these will connect directly to your headset, and then that means you can switch between obviously hand tracking, then switch over to mouse and keyboard very seamlessly. In addition to this, screen mirroring is also going to be enabled. You can mirror the display from your phone over to your Pico headset. On the topic of using additional PCs, let's talk about the Steam VR setup. This will allow you to play additional titles that aren't available on the Pico store via your gaming PC and Pico Connect. Now, probably one of the biggest complaints when it comes to purchasing a Pico headset is the Pico store, and that it doesn't have as many games or exclusive games or experiences as something like the Meta Quest store, which is true to an extent. There are some absolutely fantastic games that you can get exclusively on the Meta Quest headset, but also there's a good percentage of games that are available on Steam VR. Via the Pico Connect app, you've got two different options. You can either wirelessly stream your headset via the 1000 megabytes a second streaming directly on the Pico 4 Ultra, which is industry leading, so it's super fast. That's because of the Wi-Fi 7 support. Also, you could do this via a wire. With the Type-C connection, you could use a Type-C cable and hook this up to your gaming computer, so it also charges the headset simultaneously, so you basically get unlimited game time from this headset, and then you use all of the rendering on your computer, your GPU, and so on to actually process the games. I've been using this on titles such as Assetto Corsa Competizione, which is a racing game, and my overall experience has been great. I've been able to play that racing game at very good graphics. My PC's got an RTX 3080 Ti in it, so it isn't even like the latest and greatest GPU. Very good graphics. Also, inside of the Pico Connect app, you can customize the render resolution of the display, the refresh rate of the display, and a few other things to just tweak and tailor it to push the device further or strip it back if your PC obviously can't handle that. And then you unlock a huge plethora of different games. One game I'm super excited to be checking out is the new Alien Rogue Insurgent. This title's going to be available on PSVR 2, Steam VR, and obviously the Meta Quest store. So via that Pico Connect app, I'll be able to play this on my gaming PC, hook up my headset right here, and see what that title has to offer. Looks awesome. Alien Isolation was amazing. This title looks like it could be a lot of fun. Switching our focus back to things you can do inside of the Pico 4 Ultra directly on the headset, let's talk about mixed reality and spatial video. Mixed reality has become a huge genre when it comes to virtual reality experiences, and this allows you to basically load the game up in your real life environment, your living room, your kitchen, your wherever, your bedroom. You can have the virtual assets right in front of you, and you can literally reach out and touch them. This has been massively improved on the Pico 4 Ultra with the new dual camera pass-through design. This is the 32 megapixel camera, you got two of them, makes the image quality way better than on the Pico 4. The Pico 4 was great, it was the first full color pass-through camera, it beat the Meta Quest 2 by a mile because you could have color, which is just a game changer. But of course, that camera had a little bit of distortion and not as good image quality. This removes a lot of that distorting from the image, but also adds a lot more clarity, so your mixed reality experiences are incredible. In addition to this, leveraging this new camera design, you can also record videos directly on this headset, but not just any videos, spatial videos and photos for that matter. So you can throw the headset on and you can capture moments with the headset. This is of course Apple's spatial video, which you can also capture with your iPhone. Where is my phone? That was such a fail. I tried to pick up the controller. Of course, this is Apple's spatial video that I'm talking about, which you can also capture with your iPhone. So you can record videos on your iPhone, transfer those onto the headset via the Pico app, which is super easy to do. And then inside of the file manager, you can re-watch these experiences, whether you recorded it directly on the headset or on your smartphone, and have this immersive video experience right in front of you. Talking about things being right in front of you, let's take a look at the hand tracking. So the hand tracking is something that we've seen on a lot of VR headsets at this stage, but it does allow you to use things in quite a fun way, whether that be games that support hand tracking, but also just navigating the headset. So if I put my fist out like this and then open it, it will go ahead and show me my homepage. So there's multiple different gestures we can do with our hands. First, we can grab and pinch items and move them around the display, which is nice and easy. We can then also scroll around with the same sort of gesture, and then we can click into things by literally going ahead and just selecting it like that, just a little pinch. And then we can boot up different apps, different applications. We can also browse the web, which is quite fun. I was trying this out, just literally pinch around. It's quite a seamless experience. Now, there's some additional shortcuts that you may want to know when it comes to resetting the headset. For example, if you get uncalibrated incorrectly, you can just basically hold your fist up like this, rotate it round, and then release, and it will go ahead and reset the headset to view. Takes a little bit of time to get used to these hand gestures. They can be a little bit frustrating at first, because you trigger stuff with this hand instead of that hand. But once you learn how to navigate it, could be pretty good. Now, one final thing I want to show you is how you can screen record and capture your gameplay directly inside of your VR headset. All of the footage you've seen in today's video was recorded natively within the Pico 4 Ultra, just literally pressing and holding that media capture button on the controller. Now, this feature is enabled by default straight out of the box. You just literally press and hold record on this and it does the job. If I do it now, 3, 2, 1, go. You can see I'm now recording in the headset, but there's a few things you may wish to tweak in order to get the best quality or preserve internal storage. Now, this headset, of course, has got 256 gigabytes of internal storage, which is quite a lot. It's more than the base model of the Meta Quest 3. So you're gonna have plenty of space for both your media, your screen recordings, your pictures, and also your video games. But the way that we can customize this is inside of the General tab here and going over to Screencast Recordings and Screenshots. Here we can change which view the recording is captured from, the right eye, the left eye, the FOV of the image, wide, standard, and so on. But more importantly, we can go down here to the aspect ratio and resolution. Right now, we're capturing a 16:9 image, which is horizontal for this medium of content, but we could switch this out to be vertical with 9:16 or a 1:1 square, which is more useful for your TikToks, your YouTube shorts, and so on. Down below, you can then also adjust the resolution to have it be full HD or capture 720p. Of course, we've got full HD right here for maximum image quality. Then a few final things that you may want to toggle on and off is image stabilization and whether you want the microphone to be enabled or disabled while recording is in process. I've currently got this turned off, so it means I can capture my audio separately and then just have gameplay audio not impeded by any mic noise. Now, these are just some of the cool features that you can find on the brand new Pico 4 Ultra. But if you want to learn more about this headset and some of the best games that I'm playing right now in virtual reality, you should check out this video next. But as always, I've been Ben Rowlands. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.